Hello guys, it's Anime What If Media, and today we're gonna be doing a new video, and I I wanted to get a different picture, but it's gonna be a shield hero. What if it's gonna be what if Deku was shield hero? Now this Deku, we're gonna change his past a little bit, just a little bit. So this Deku, like, that he's been back in his childhood. He cried, he was kind of depressed about not being a hero. So the way for him to cope with it would be games and physical training to at least be strong enough to do hero things even if he doesn't have a quirk. So this Deku's gonna actually have balls and actually do something instead of just whining like a baby. But Deku's still gonna be that kind-hearted person. It's just that he's more confident. Now, Deku, he played RPG games, all these games during his childhood, also working out. Then he met All Might. He got his quirk, and for that 10 months or 8 months of training, half that, and that's how long Deku finished the thing. Because he already was physically fit. It's just that he got physically more fit. And now he's training how to use the quirk. So now he could probably use some percentage. Only his maximum of 25. Because right now his body is like good for 25. So he knows how to use 25% of full count. When he first used it, he did break some bones because he didn't learn how to put it around his whole body until All Might suggested, "Hey, put it around your whole body." And since he was technically done quirk training for the day, he decided to go steady and read some books about old heroes. So he got a book, and it says the 4 cardinal heroes, and he's like, "Oh, this is similar to a game that I played before." He's like, "There's a spear, shield, and there's a spear, sword, and bow." Now, when you see the shield hero, he's kind of like, the shield's not technically a weapon because Deku, he's so good in games that he was first a sword user and he maxed that out. A spear, maxed it out. He maxed out everything. He played a shield once, but he maxed that out too. So he knows that shields are actually useful if you know how to use them. So Deku's like, "Ooh, a shield." And he's like, "Wait, where are the other pages? Where are the other pages?" And he basically disappears, and the light drops the book. Now, what Deku has on him is a book bag. He still has his book bag with his notebook and everything. He still has it on him. That's not gonna drop. It's gonna teleport with him. Now, Deku right now, he's 14, about to turn 15. Because if you guys remember, Deku was first introduced as 14 years old. And he was training, and during that training, he, during the, nearest to the end of the training, that's when he, um, like, turned 15. So Deku's still 14. Now the people are summoned, they see the shield heroes like, it's a young kid. And they kind of feel sad for him because he's a young kid. They can't really do, because if it was anyone else older, they would have not mind, but he's a kid. They can't really do. It's like Deku, he's actually short for his age, if you guys don't know. Even though he now worked out a little bit, he got a bit taller, but he's still short for his age. So he looks like a kid. And he is a kid, 14 years old. So, he's like, where am I? What? I was just, I was just reading some book, and then it was like, I was reading a book. Oh no, it's similar to a game that, this world is similar to a game, and it's similar to this anime that I watched. It's called Sword Art Online. He was playing this VR game, then he was trapped in it. So I was probably reading that book, then I got trapped in here. And the other people ran Itsuki and Moriyasu, I think. They're like, whoa. There's you watched the anime about a person being trapped inside a game. He said like, when I was younger, since I couldn't become a hero because I thought I was quirkless, he's just making sure that the one for all secret doesn't come out, because all he knows Deku have quirks too, because he's been a world full of quirks. Back when I was quirkless, the way that I vent off of my sadness and depression is playing video games. I play fantasy games and all that. And they're like, quirks? What do you mean by quirks? And he's like, never mind, let's get this over, and ask them like, and they ask the people who summoned them like, where are they and everything. And they talk about the 4 cardinal heroes and talk about and the other 3 are like, hey, we ain't gonna do this for free. We need money for this. Now, Deku's kind of like surprised, like, geez, you guys are from different Japans then, because most people in my society are heroes. And I'm training with the #1 hero in my world, and I'm kind of surprised that you guys are like doing this without your own will and kindness. I'm a gamer too. I play fantasy games too. It's just that you guys seriously need to have a heart. They did this because it's their last choice. Think about it. If it wasn't their last choice, why would they summon us? And it makes Itsuki and Ren think about it. Moriyasu doesn't even care because he's the older. He's like, hey, little kid, just because you're from a world of heroes doesn't mean that you're smarter than us, so don't give us ideas. And he's like, I'm probably 200 years forward in your time. The knowledge that you know, I probably learned that in elementary school, because the time that they're at, the time that the other 3 are at, it's like past the time that Deku's time is like different, because when the years go by, the education is better. So, and if you think about it, Deku's world is like super high tech compared to the other people's versions of Japan's. Now, anyways, they meet the king, and when the king sees the shield hero, he kind of feels bad for the shield hero, because again, Deku is a kid. Now, anyways, they introduced themselves, and then when it came to, he actually gave Deku a chance to actually introduce himself, unlike in canon with Izuki. And he says, my name is Zuki Midoriya, 14 turning 15 in a few weeks. I'm training to become a hero. And they're like, a hero? And the king is kind of interested. He's like, a hero? And he's thinking in his head, like, isn't the shield hero supposed to be like a devil? Like, and he kind of feels really sad. And Deku's like, yeah, in my world, we have superpowers that we're born with. And I'm training with the number one hero in my world to become a hero. And the king is feeling like really sad. Because the king has standards. He's not gonna just hurt a child just because of his vendetta against the last shield hero. That ain't right. That ain't fair. Okay. Now they get back. They go to the. So they go into the rooms and they talk about their Japans. And Deku talks about, like, in my Japan, 80% of the population have quirks, and 20% doesn't. They're quirkless. I thought I was part of the 20%, but I was actually part of the 80%. I unlocked my quirk in a life or death situation. So and once I got my quirk, he trained with the number one hero. And we took down some villains, let's just say he does. And they're like, villains, like, you mean like monsters or like real people? And he's like, real people. We pinned them down. We don't kill them because they're still human beings. And when they think about his quirk is like OP because he talks about one for all. He doesn't talk about it gets passed down. He talks about, like, it gives me, I could only use 20% of this power because I need to be more physically fit than this to use more. And right now, seeing how I'm in this world, I probably may be able to be using, since I have a shield, it could reduce some of the damage that I take, so I could probably use my quirk more efficiently. And they're like, what's so good about a shield? And you guys are gamers, but you never decide to max out all your things before you play. Have you ever played every position and maxed them out? And they're like, no. We just clearly stick to one thing. And Deku's like, you guys. He's like, when I play games, I max out my characters to the max. Then I play with a different weapon because I want to experience how to use the other weapons. So I learned how to use a shield before. And a shield is actually useful than you think. And they're like, and now with my quirk, I could probably tank enemies and attack. And then when they think about it, like, yeah, he's really, if he was able to use 100%, because we're seeing only 25%, and it can make shockwaves. And they're imagining just 100%. They're like, yeah, we don't want to get on his bad side. So now, they go to sleep, and now they go back to the king's place, and they're telling for the party people to choose. Now, everybody chooses who they choose in canon. Now, the king is like, you guys are seriously not gonna join the kids' team? You guys are really horrible. He's like saying, he's like 14 years old. He hasn't even turned 15. We basically took him out of his world. And he's young, and you expect him to do this by himself. And then Deku acts like the king, like, it's alright, Your Majesty, I could handle myself perfectly. If I didn't mention to you, in my world, I was trained to become a hero. I was trained by the number one hero of my time. And I have power that I could probably be the best offense and defense out of any one of the four cardinal heroes. And the others shake their head because they know that for sure, that his powers, and he is like, can you show me a demonstration of your power? And he says, let's go to the courtyard. Once he goes to the courtyard, they bring the strongest metal that they have, and Deku says, bring the strongest metal that they have. So Deku goes 25% and uses full counting, and he just uses a shockwave punch. And the shockwave breaks the metal, and they're like, and Mon was about to like deceive the kid, even if he's younger, because she's a Mine multi. Yeah, I'm gonna call her what she's named by now for me in their canon after season 1. Bitch. Yeah, she is named Bitch. And poor. So the bitch is like, yeah, I don't want to mess with him. So I'm gonna just mind my own business. And he's a kid, so the accusation of me raping him and the way that he's trained to become a hero, I'm that they won't probably believe me. And it's gonna be true because Deku still has his book bag, and the king asks, what is that thing that you're carrying around your back? And he says, it's my book bag. I carry notes in there. I have some sort of like weird condition that I just like to journal everything that happens to me. So basically at the end of the day, I mostly write down my stuff and take notes about things. And the king says, that's kind of useful. And now mine is like, yeah, I shouldn't mess with him. He has a journal that he could write down. So there'll be more proof that I'm lying, and I don't want to get executed for messing with one of the 4 cardinal heroes. Especially a strong one, too. So, Deku goes all by himself. He defeats the Bloom heroes. Now, he goes defeat some of the wolves, too, because they're completely nothing to him. He's just destroying them. Like, oh my gosh. It's sad. And the other heroes are like, yeah, we should expect it. Because they kind of started around the same area. And they're like, and the other party members are like, he's that strong. And they're like, even if we join with him, it will probably be useless. Once he figure out his magic ability, it would probably be just useless. Now Deku's still gonna have the shield, the magic that he gets from the shield, support magic and healing magic. Now the other magic that he's gonna get is wind magic. It makes his shockwaves even better. Now Deku, he probably goes out and fight for a week, and he fights and grinds for a week, and he's probably by the end of this at level 10. And I know he's leveling up too fast, but he has one for all. So, and he has a shield too, so it could take some of the damage off of him. Now, by the end of the day, by the end of the grinding, he decides to check like his status and everything. He sees the level 5 strength and stuff, and he checks out throughout the whole system to see what things he could get. And he's like, damn. Now Deku, he's way more absorbent than Naofumi, and that's basic facts. That's like facts beyond facts. So he noticed some things that even the other heroes haven't even noticed. Don't forget, Deku's also a gamer, and he's an observant person as well. So he checks over everything. Now, even if I don't read the manga, I know some things about some attacks that Naofumi has in the future, but I digress. Deku, he checks out the stuff and he says, my shield can absorb things and basically use those items and make a new shield. And also I could teleport to places that I've already been. So he decides to use this and he's like, teleport to the capital. He says this and he teleports to the capital. He teleports to the gate and the guard says, "Hello, shield hero. Nice to see you that you're back in the capital." And Deku says, "Nice to you too." Now Deku is walking. He's trying to find a merchant and he sees this, which he doesn't know as it yet. He sees the slave owner treating his slave like trash. And he basically jumps in and is like, "Hey, don't mess with him." And he says, "That's my slave." And Deku's thinking in his back of his head, like, slavery is legal here? Like, seriously? God damn. And he's like, "Sorry for interrupting him." Even though he really hates it, he has to. Like, bizarre because it's technically legal in this area. So he kind of pays the man like a few copper because the king gave them starter money. Now, he does not give Deku like starter money because he was offering to, does not give him extra money. And Deku's like, "Nah, I'm okay. I don't need extra money. I can earn them myself." And when he gets there, he goes to a merchant. It's like 2 copper a piece, and he had a big haul. And then after that, he probably got like 2 silvers because he got a lot. And 2 silvers, even though it doesn't seem much to you guys. And I'm thinking the money converges is like 100 copper equals to 1 silver. And 100 silver equals to 1 gold. So that's type of the convergence value. So he had 200, not 200, but 100 like balloon monsters and some wolf hides. So he got 2 silver. He stays in the inn and he basically takes a nap. Now Deku, he checks out his status and he seems like he has healing magic and support magic. Now, because of healing magic, he decides to get like some herbs and make medicine. And he gets the plant shield. Now, he makes medicine and all that, and he brings it to like a herbalist. The herbalist sees this type of stuff and he's like, "Wow, you have talent to become a herbalist or a clerk." And Deku's like, "I could become a clerk." And he talked about like, yeah, once you reach like a level 40 and then you get a class upgrade. So you go to Dragon Hourglass of the Three Heroes Church, and he was like, "Three Heroes Church of which heroes?" It's just some fake religion about the sword, spear, and bow hero, and they think the shield is the devil. Now, Deku understands why some of the people are like afraid of him, because when he helps them, the people are like pro-religious, like they're like, "Yeah, I follow my faith no matter what." They're scared of him when he rescued them, because Deku, he's still the Deku that we know. He will rescue someone without hesitation because he has hero instinct. And people are starting to like see that Deku is not actually a double shield. And there is a religion that the queen made. It's the religion of the four heroes. And they're like, yeah, let's do the religion that the queen made. So that religion is made, but it's not practiced in Malmarok. Because the king made like a special thing. If you practice this, you get executed. Now, Deku heard of the four churches, or the four heroes church. He decides to go there. And when he gets there, it's seemingly like farther than the city. And he finds this lady with purple hair, and she's wearing like some armor. And he asks her like, do you work in here? And if you guys don't know who this person is, that's the queen. Now the queen decided to go to the Four Heroes Church, like teleport there, to see like how much members that they have. And Deku just went to that church to check it out and see if he becomes a clerk. Is it gonna be like the best place to go? And she's like, no, do you not know who I am? And once she sees the shield, is like, oh, my apologies, shield hero. I'm Queen of Melmora. And Deku's like, Queen, I didn't know the king. He did have a daughter, but I didn't know that his wife was like still alive because she wasn't there. And then she explains the situation. He's like, what? He decides to go against your word and summon all four heroes in one place instead of like the four major kingdoms, summoning one for each kingdom. And Deku was like, jeez, that's sad. Now Deku, he's given like a scroll from the queen to give this to the other heroes and like tell them like about the situation. And after that, she kind of teleports because she has still managed to attend to. Now Deku checks around the church and he says, yeah, when I become a clerk, I'll just go here to get the blessings so I can use holy water, like divine water, and make those and my medicines could be like a bit better. And and Deku kind of teleports to the capital, and let's just say all the four heroes are in the capital right now. So he goes to Itsuki, he gives them the letter. He finds Itsuki and he says, hey Itsuki, I'm calling a meeting, so if you guys, I have a feeling that there might be like some sort of like chat box I could talk to the other heroes. Like, is there any sort of thing that you know about? And Itsuki says, yeah, there is a way to chat with the other hero. And Deku like literally calls the other heroes and he's like, yeah, we've been duped. And they're like, what? We've been duped? And he's like, yeah, all four of us is not supposed to be summoned into one kingdom. And they're like, one kingdom? Wait, you're telling me there's multiple kingdoms? And he's like, yes, there's multiple kingdoms. And there's for every four of the major kingdoms, there's supposed to be one hero for each kingdom. And then Deku kind of explains, and he gives like a letter from the queen, and they're like, wow, we've been actually doomed. We could have been helping the weaves throughout the whole place so it could be finished faster, but the king decided, and they're like, yeah, we better. Like, stop this. And now, and Deku's kind of like, yeah, we better go to the king and ask him about this. And they go to the king. All four of them go to the king with their parties, and Deku's just by himself. But anyways, they go to the king. He's like, you lied to us. And the king is like, what? And the party members are like, what? He's like, we got the shield hero went to the queen, and she told us what she did. You did something so uncalled for. You called all four heroes in one place when they're supposed to be distributed between the nations. If we did that, the waves would have been done sooner. And we figured out the queen has more authority over you. You're just a stand-in while she's in the meeting. And you decided to do this, like, you did declare treason, you know that, right? And the people, and this is like broadcasted to the whole place because the shadows made sure of it. And they're like, what? The king made treason? And Deku is like, yeah, I have a scroll from the queen herself. And Deku asks one of the guards, like, do you have any like written document similar to the queen that the queen wrote herself, so it could prove that this is not forgery. This is actual real letter that she wrote. And they do find like a written law made by her. And they compare the writings and they're like, this is truly the queen's writing. And they're like, they all turn to the king. It's like, so you summoned the heroes, knowing that there's supposed to be one in every country, and they know it's too good to be true to have all heroes. And there's just that they kind of believe that the other kingdoms weren't in danger because the townspeople are really dumb. Like, seriously, dumb as fuck. So, Deku basically foils the king's plan. The king is like dethroned. And now we have Melty. Melty is the first princess, and she basically was being like taught by this lord, and this lord basically was the second in command if anything happened to the king. So Melty is basically done learning from him, and the second the dude becomes like temporary like leader of Melmarok until the queen turns back. So he basically says, which hero is gonna stay here? You guys are allowed to adventure out and go to the other major four heroes. The other major like kingdoms. And Deku says, I'm gonna stay here because I don't like how people treat demi-humans here. And they're like, what are demi-humans? And Deku is like, the demi-humans, they're treated not like humans. They're treated like slaves. And they're like, what's wrong with demi? The other heroes, yeah, because they have different thing. This is a game, and Deku's like, if it was a game, my body wouldn't be hurting if I use my quirk. Because I played VR games before. It takes your mind inside of the game, and the damage that you feel in the game doesn't affect you really. So I'm confused. Like, I feel real damage, so we're actually teleported here. It's not a game, it's real people. And when they think about it, this is kind of like, they kind of feel bad now because they kind of left some of these demi-humans like being treated like a trash. Now they're gonna revolt against some of the slave owners, but we're gonna talk about that later. Bye.